Hello everyone, it is great to see you here once again on Dee's Delights. Today we are going to be making something I have never made before. It's called ham and cabbage casserole. Now I will warn you, there's a lot of prep. And most of this stuff you could prep up the evening before, have everything chopped up and ready to go. That'll make it a lot simpler because this is not a recipe that you're going to be able to make before you run the kids to soccer practice or something like that. You're going to want to make this when you have a little bit of time. It's an easy prep, just a little time consuming. So let's get started. For this recipe, you will need 2,563 ingredients. I'm kidding, you won't really need that many, but close. 2 cups of chopped cooked ham. Just go ahead at your store and buy the pre-cooked ham. It'll say on there fully cooked, can serve cold or hot. 1.5 cups of frozen Southern style hash brown potatoes thawed. I just have the little shredded ones. 5 tablespoons of unsalted butter, you're going to divide that. 1.5 cups of chopped onions, 5 cups of chopped cabbage. I measured it out. It was probably about half of a large head, somewhere in there, or half of a medium, I should say. 1/2 cup of shredded carrots. I just used my handy dandy shredder and this attachment. Or if you want to buy them pre-shredded, go for it. That'll save you time. You'll need 3 tablespoons of all-purpose flour, 1/2 teaspoon salt, 1/4 teaspoon dried mustard, 1/4 teaspoon white pepper. I'm just going to use about 1/8 of a teaspoon of black. 2 cups or more, if needed, of milk. 1 cup grated sharp cheddar cheese. 3 slices bacon strips cooked and crumbled. I have 3 cut in half and then I'll crumble them up. 3/4 cup of buttery round crackers crumbled. I am just using Ritz. And that was probably about 2/3 of a pack of Ritz. So really there's 14 ingredients. So I was a little bit off in my numbers earlier that I gave you, but it felt like that. If your potatoes aren't totally thawed, just pop them in the microwave for maybe 30 seconds, a minute. I'm gonna mix these around. Mine were frozen solid and it took maybe a minute. Don't do it much more than that. They don't want them cooked. Preheat your oven to 350 degrees. Butter a 9 by 13 inch pan. Then we're going to spread the chopped ham on the bottom of the pan, which is 2 cups. This is interesting. I'm kind of excited to see how this turns out. I hope it's good after all the prep. Better be good. Melt 2 tablespoons of butter in a large skillet over medium heat. That's where we're dividing that. Okay, once your butter is heated up, they want you to cook the onions for 2 to 3 minutes. All right, that's been a couple of minutes. I'm going to go ahead and add the cabbage now. It says here you want to have your cabbage wilted down just a little bit, but you still want it crisp. Because we're going to be baking this. That's a big chunk of cabbage. I have a little notepad underneath my skillet here. Our countertop must be a little crooked. You know, my husband is so gifted. He can do pretty much any type of home maintenance. But when you live with somebody that knows how to do that, and that's what they do for a living, guess what? You're put last on the list. Oh well. It's more of just a little inconvenience. No biggie, no biggie. Okay, it's starting to wilt down a little bit. Let's go ahead and add our shredded carrots, which is a 1/2 cup. Mix that in. And let's go ahead and add our hash browns. Mix that around a little bit, then we're going to pour it over top of the ham. Spread that around. I think I'm going to like this. I think it might be worth the prep time. Next, we're going to melt 3 tablespoons of butter over medium heat. While that's melting, let's go ahead and combine our all-purpose flour, 3 tablespoons, our 1/2 teaspoon of salt, our 1/4 teaspoon of dried mustard, our 1/4 teaspoon of white pepper. I'm using 1/8 of black. So mix that around. I have this big whisk. It's almost too big for the bowl. I do have a smaller one somewhere, but I'm so exhausted from prepping all the ingredients. I don't feel like looking for it. You know, sometimes I just don't feel like looking for stuff. Sprinkle flour and seasonings over the melted butter, stirring constantly until flour and butter are well combined and the mixture is bubbly. About 3 minutes. And allow it to bubble for about a minute while stirring. Let's get our milk. You know what? We got to get the milk ready. 2 cups of milk. Where's milk? Do I have milk? Yes. See, this is why you should be prepared. What did I have in this? The ham? That'll be okay. I had everything else ready. I was pretty good until now. All right. Go ahead, I almost have that there. And what you're going to want to do is gradually pour in milk, stirring constantly to avoid lumps. Well, this is already brown and bubbly. Let's go ahead and add the milk slowly. Tell you what, it starts to clump up pretty quickly. This right here says once we get it mixed together, stir for about 3 to 5 more minutes. We're making a thickening here. Cabbage really looks good. I really do like cabbage. I think what it is I like the crunch of it. Because if you think about it, cabbage doesn't have a lot of flavor. Okay, now all my milk is in. I'm just going to let it thicken a little bit. Now get our cheese ready, because that is the next thing. We're going to add half of the cheese here in just a little bit. Let it melt down, and we're going to shut this off as soon as we get our little thickening gravy looking stuff here. It almost looks like the gravy that you would pour on top of like biscuits, sausage biscuits, stuff like that. Now let's mix in half of the cheese till that all melts together. Make sure you've shut off the skillet. Pour in the rest of it. I might have a little extra cheese. You guys know me. Instead of a cup, 4 ounces, I put in 5 ounces. All right, let's pour this over top. It's starting to get thick pretty quickly. I'm sure that's really loud. I had one lady tell me, "My gosh, you're loud." I was tempted to say, well, turn your daggone volume down, but I thought, no, that's okay. I appreciate feedback. Any helpful criticism is good. So I try to make sure now that I'm not making too much noise other than my big mouth. I try to spare your ears. Spread that evenly over the cabbage. Top with bacon and crumbled Ritz crackers. So here's our bacon, and probably I would have done maybe more than 3 pieces. Maybe like 6. You know, because I love bacon and I don't really feel this is going to be enough. But at this point in time, it is what it is. So if you want to fry up more bacon, because look at that. That barely covers it. I would put double, 6 slices. 6 slices. We'll see if this is enough crackers. I think the crackers will be sufficient. Do believe I'm gonna like it. I'm gonna like it a lot. Okay, next what we're gonna do is bake it for 30 to 35 minutes until it's warm. Well, my casserole, I let it in there for about 35 minutes. Doug's on his way home. He'll be here shortly. I had peeled 1 too many carrots. I didn't need it. I'll see if Doug wants this carrot. He does love carrots, so I'm gonna wait for him to scoop it out. Or maybe I'll go ahead and scoop mine out. No, I'll wait. I'll wait. I'll be patient. He'll be here shortly. I'm tempted to eat it. Maybe I'll try a little piece. Let's just see. See if I got it done the whole way through. Not bad. Different. What you'll need to do is make sure you like cabbage. Yeah, it's pretty good, especially if you get Ritz crackers on top. That adds a nice little touch. The cheese is good. Okay, I'm ready to eat, Mr. Miller. I tried it. It's not bad. It's interesting.
I'm surprised you waited.
Well, I thought I'd be kind. I knew you were coming. It was just done like 10 minutes ago, so. Do you want a biscuit with yours? I know, you're looking at this carrot like, what's this here? I cut too many, I peeled too many. I didn't know if you wanted me to toss it or would you eat it? I figured you'd eat it. Do you want a biscuit?
This is my supper.
Yeah, one
A
carrot.
I hurried home for that.
Yep.
Maybe I'll go make a snowman.
Yeah. That's hilarious.
And I can
Mr.
use 2 of those jelly beans for the eyeballs in the mouth.
That's true. This is true. So this is cabbage, which I do believe you like cabbage. So you got to get a bite with the Ritz crackers crumbled on top and everything to make it good, and it might need a little salt and pepper. And it's pretty low in calories. Well, because it's cabbage. It's not bad, yeah. It's almost like
What's it called?
it's just called ham and cabbage casserole.
Well, you imagine.
It's almost just like throwing a bunch of leftovers in a pan and cooking it. So, Doug, on a scale of 1 to 10, 1 being the lowest and 10 being the highest, what would you give this casserole? I'm going to taste it again, give my opinion. Now the thing is, you have to like cabbage. I'd give it an 8.
No, I was going to say an 8.5.
8.5, that's actually good for Doug. But I'd give it about an 8. So, there again, if you like cabbage, this will be a good dish for you. It's a little bit time of prep, but it's so easy, and I think you'll like it.
If it had peas in it, it'd be a 9.
Yeah, it'd be a 9 with peas. Hey, thanks for joining us here once again on Dee's Delights, and we hope you have a fabulous week. See you soon.